Roll dice, be nice, and stay tuned. This is the Live to Die podcast.
I do have an actual opening, but Trent just asked something I do want to hear people's answer to. Trenton.
So if your character were a team in the NFL, what team would they represent?
I'm going to zone out while all of you talk. This means nothing to me. Have fun.
What team would they rep?
The referees.
Are they fans of, or if they were a team?
Yeah.
Did you say you'd be the referees?
Yeah, Nikolai might run the referees.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I could also, who's a team that's
Both.
nice
I
but not
both
dangerous?
of those are different things.
Yeah, they are different things.
Who's the shady ass team that exists?
The Browns.
I love it.
Do you have any bias there?
The answer is going to be like, no matter what, it's going to be the Cleveland Browns.
I'm trying to think.
Cowboys?
Is Lucky a Chiefs fan?
No.
Is Lucky a Swiftie?
No, definitely not.
No, he's more of
I
a.
mean, what's the
He
biggest,
likes himself more than
the
anyone
biggest
else.
money team is probably the Cowboys, to be honest.
Yeah, I would. Dude,
Yeah.
Lucky's gonna have to cheer for like a big market team.
No, he's probably, I hate to say it, he's probably a Raiders fan.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
That's kind of tough though. Like
Yeah.
of all the lame ass ones, that's the tougher one.
Yeah, that's a tough,
Yeah.
it's like a tough team to be.
right.
because
and-
Chris Berman goes the Raiders.
Yeah.
Or, maybe they were like a Saints fan in the Bounty Gate. Maybe he was a Saints fan in the Bounty Gate
sure,
era.
sure.
And
You
so he
follow
just kind of
Sean
stuck.
Payton?
He was responsible for paying out the bounties too.
Yes, exactly.
You know, you fucking ruined my playoff chances.
I mean,
Lucky.
easy answer is like Bengals, Lions,
Wow.
Jaguars, something like that.
Oh, cat.
I mean, that's
Cat
not
related.
wrong about like it's all about the money. Would be the Bengals.
Yeah, that's
So-
fair.
Large cats.
Well, I think Arthur, going sort of with his theme, would be a big fan of the most boring team, which Titans.
Titans, Giants.
Commanders.
Hey,
Oh,
not right
he's a
now.
Commanders
Not
fan.
right now. They're
Commanders are fun.
No,
I
but
can
I'm
see
saying
them
I
killing
see
it.
Arthur as a Commanders
Sure,
fan
Steelers.
Mhm.
because they're like, oh, that's
Yeah, they always win.
me.
Though.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
got to be a fan of the underdog a little bit.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm giving you all
Seahawks.
20 more seconds
Ooh,
to
Seahawks
answer
pretty
this
boring
before we
fan.
get to the real opening.
Yeah.
Jonas is an Eagles fan.
I was trying to, I don't know, it was either that or 49ers.
Green
Just
Bay.
like like a pretty team.
I could see Arthur cheering for Green Bay.
Yeah, Arthur's definitely.
the team of the people.
Yeah.
And like
Team,
part,
that's fair.
your mom owns some of the
yeah.
some
Yeah,
of
she's
the
got some
teams.
stock in
Season
it.
ticket holder. Yeah, that makes sense.
A pretty team? I don't know. Is there a pretty team? You said
The Bengals.
Yeah, I'm just trying to.
super pretty.
Like
Joe Burrow's a good looking guy.
Joe Burrow looks like
Maybe the Rams.
fourth Skarsgård brother.
Ooh, Rams would be good.
He could
Yeah.
be
I
good.
don't know
He could
enough
be a
about
Rams
football
fan.
to really answer this question.
I think
I'm playing
he's a
fantasy and
Rams fan. I
I
just
got
decided
invited
for
into
you.
the chat, but
They got a new
Yeah.
like plushy stadium. They've got good uniforms, good colors.
Yeah.
Some flashy names.
Arthur,
Yeah.
fuck your team.
wow.
Yeah. Well, speaking of fucking Arthur's team.
No.
Wow. I'm not going to take that one this time.
Your segue.
So here's what I
can't
wanted to
believe
do.
Green Bay
This
just
is
won.
a little more on like the personal notes, but this should be airing right around the start of the new year, 2025.
Oh,
I'm not a big, resolution person. That's not me.
Yeah, me neither.
Yep.
But I do think it would be kind of fun. We've been doing this for a couple of years. And let's look for the positive because we could always find negative. What are some that you're comfortable sharing? What are some highlights for 24 for any
Oh.
of you?
Oh,
2024.
man. A
Are
couple
there?
years back, I made, it's a resolution essentially. I read a lot. I like
Yeah.
I'm about a book a week. And I think 2 months ago, I was like, I'm not going to make it this year. And I'm over 50 for the year right now.
So you hit your book
So
a week.
I'll hit, or by the time this comes out, I'll probably be at 54 or 55. But
Damn. That's
yeah.
nice.
Yeah,
That's a
I just
lot.
really like
That's
it.
dope.
Yeah, I really, really like reading. I almost always have one audiobook going and I always have one real book going because I read in the dark at night when my kids are falling asleep. So yeah, it's just something I really like to do. And I will keep that going because I find it very valuable for many reasons.
I'm not quite at that, but I definitely tried to start making more time for myself to read over the last couple of years, and I found it to be really emotionally rewarding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll kind of do an easy one for 25. We hit 100 episodes of the
that's
podcast
a
this
big-
summer.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
And we're still doing this. Like I was kind of looking back on this year and like how much fun that's been for me to just carve out what ends up being like an entire day to hang out with some of my favorite friends and people and like have lunch and catch up on families and just like play a game. I don't know. I was really stoked that this is still a part of my life.
Yeah, dude.
100%.
This is dope. I joined the podcast in 2024, so that's cool.
Yeah,
true.
we,
That is
we got you.
I would say for me, it would have to be travel. The amount of traveling we've done this year. We've been to
Oh yeah, you had a good year.
Missouri and Arkansas and Tennessee and Texas twice, and all the states in between that you drive through to get to those places. So
Was Oklahoma this year too? Or was that last year?
that might have been
That was
last
2
year.
years ago, I think.
Jesus.
And then we still have
Right.
Delaware left.
Okay.
So, we're still going.
Damn.
Nice.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
pretty
It's a
cool.
lot. Jessica and I were laughing, like maybe we need to pump the brakes next year a little bit. We did a lot. But yeah,
Well,
it was
your
fun.
kids are also getting older. It seems like they're getting more and more tied. They're at the age where they're
Yeah.
really starting to tie into their communities.
No, you
too.
The
got-
goal is we're trying to do all 50 before they graduate.
Oh, that's
Wow.
awesome.
It's got to be scary how close that's getting.
They're at like between 38 and 40.
That's pretty dope.
Jessica's got like 2 or 3 left,
Dang.
and I have like 8 left.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're all pretty close. I mean, for the kids being as young as they are, like that's really close.
Yeah.
Fucking
That's awesome.
America.
Big place.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
It's crazy too. Like I won't get into this too much, but like people talk about how Americans don't travel, and it's like our fucking country is humongous.
It's huge.
Yeah.
And one state is the size of a European country.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
like we travel our own shit because
We
it's
drive for hours.
hours,
Yeah.
days even.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you can go across the border and it will feel like a foreign land.
Yeah.
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 That's been one thing I've always enjoyed. Like whenever you're catching us up on whatever trip you've come back from, is the way you and your family travel, and
Mhm.
like the way you'll come back talking about like what was interesting and exciting. And for me, it always is such a good reminder that like, sure, it's the same country, but like there's so much going on. It's such a big place. There's so many people. It's so different from place to place.
Mhm.
And it's always a fun reminder of that.
Yeah.
What about you? Any highlights in 24 for you?
It's been pretty mellow year. I will say I've kind of been off and on coaching kids teams.
Mm-hmm.
But like now that Luke's in this club basketball and I took over coaching for that, it feels a little more like a bigger commitment, more
Yeah.
time sunk into it. And like,
And Luke had
Luke's-
like the game of his life the other day.
oh, that was Bo.
Bo.
Bo had a great game, but yeah. But I mean, I think I'm kind of a coach now, which is weird. I didn't
That's
know
so
if that would be
cool.
something that I would do, but when your best friend's kid doesn't call you by your name and just calls you coach,
Yeah.
I think
That's
that's
dope,
an
though.
indicator that you made it,
That's dope.
Right.
at
Right.
least on
That's
some
so
sort of level.
cool.
So now I'm just coach.
For
Oh, that's
yeah.
awesome.
forever.
Yeah. Yeah, I probably will be.
Yeah,
There's a
to
whole
him,
Yeah.
you'll be coach forever. I
Yeah.
still call my football coach.
Right. Right.
Yeah, that's fun. It's fun. It was something I didn't anticipate too, really. Like the level of involvement. So
We're
That's
actually
awesome.
all calling you coach now too.
Yes.
deal.
Yeah, it's really cool that, Coach does a great job playing Lucky.
Yeah.
The one thing I appreciate is if you would keep the coach speeches, though. I'm not looking forward to looking. It was a good fight. We really got to come together, make sure we can keep that AC up on the Paladin. We're going to come back here, really going to practice the dice rolls. And
will
You know, we
say-
had a game plan coming in. We just had to execute.
So yesterday
Definitely got some
we
stuff in
got
film we need to check out.
we had a tournament yesterday. We got put in a bracket that was above our level.
Mm.
And so we got beat on pretty good.
Sure.
And it was the first time I kind of gave him like a tough speech. I'm usually pretty like, we know what we're doing.
Tell us what
We
you
have a
said
lot of
those
things to
kids.
clean up, but you guys did a nice job. Yesterday was kind of the first day I was like, look, if we want to be competitive, you guys got to work harder. And like,
Yeah.
I'm not usually that guy, but it was kind of a fun, like, okay, let's see how they respond to this, So
Sometimes
Awesome.
they just need a fire under their ass.
You
Yeah,
gotta,
that's
you
what I'm
gotta
saying.
start using that in the game though. Like, look, Arthur, you
yeah,
really fall down a lot. You need to really bring it.
I just need to, my
can't-
backup.
I can't breathe right now.
we're going to need you to start keeping at least 1 to 2 back. I cannot be your only source of backup shields.
Yeah, yeah.
Arthur.
Yeah.
You're
Well-
gonna need someone to carry your extra shield, okay?
my highlights for the year would be
That
that
CPU.
Yeah, CPU.
that I got all the pieces for a new computer now as of today. Well, not have, but will get. Have purchased.
Yes.
And I'm gonna go there.
Okay, go there.
I started therapy and it's been great. And
Hell
nice.
yeah.
Everybody should fucking go do it.
Everyone
like it.
should do it.
Yeah, I think most of us at the table have either been in or are in therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
that was probably for
So
me.
all
I have 2.
listeners,
That's how good I am.
you should
I have an
go
extra
do
one.
it.
Hell yeah. Hey, thank you for
That's
sharing
fair.
that.
Yeah, I like him.
That's not where I thought you were going.
And
I
you
thought
got a
it was about
dog.
to be some crazy shit.
Oh, we
You
got a
did get
dog too.
puppy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's adorable.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that's a cute dog.
She is wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like hit or miss on. I get nervous around dogs. It's not that I don't like dogs. It's that sometimes I get nervous around dogs. But I don't know. Your dog
They
is
can
really
tell.
nice. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. Which is why I tried to work
They're
on
like,
it.
they're like horses.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, she's great. She loves everybody.
yeah.
Now I miss Rex.
Oh, how's Rex doing?
Oh, he's the best fucking friend I've ever had. No
That's-
offense, Ryan.
Love that.
Wow.
No.
Damn. He really just said that to your face.
Yeah, it's all good.
Wow, just sent that. Okay.
Well, speaking of the best friends we've ever had,
Yeah, you've got a
Oh.
handful of new friends here
Damn.
now.
Yeah, hobgoblins and
Sure do.
kobolds and
Oh my.
giants. Oh my.
I have a Vanguard.
You do have a Vanguard.
Yes, you do.
It's,
Dude, imagine
dope.
this shit walking back though. Like we left empty-handed
Mm-hmm.
on our horses. What is yours? Horse, and I think
Yes, horse.
Olaf is mine.
Palomino.
Palomino.
yeah, you just named yours the type of horse.
I'll never remember.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
I think it's a horse named
Sure.
Horse.
It's probably
You
horse.
just kind of say
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a rental.
I just kind of like
It's
snap
a
my
rental.
fingers or
It's a-
click my tongue.
It's a
yeah.
lease. It's even worse.
You say, here, kitty
As long
cat.
as you don't put too
Yeah.
many miles
If
on
it
it.
has
you
too
can
many
turn
miles
back
on it,
in.
I got to trade it in immediately.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
You're like Leonardo DiCaprio.
He's like at the.
a patch.
He's like,
You know what? Sure.
oh man, you guys for so many episodes.
Oh.
The patch begging is
Uh,
hilarious.
But that one is good. That one
That was good. It was good.
Ah, thank you.
Because he's not even around.
Yeah.
Shade thrown at him.
He's in our next episode, though.
Oh,
Yeah,
Leo.
it's awkward that you say that. We booked a big guest.
Yeah.
So yeah. So we got this set up. We kind of chatted a little bit before this episode, but I don't actually know what the group's at or if there's anything you want to talk or play out. But you've resolved Hargulka's lair essentially. And now you have a lot of supplies, multiple wagon loads and 0 wagons. And you do have 6 hobgoblins, a few kobolds. What's the plan, folks?
Man, I think we're traveling back to town now, and we're going to have some conversations with people about these hobgoblins.
Yeah,
It's cool. Don't be afraid.
Don't be racist.
Yeah, don't be racist.
for sure.
Is the intent
Kobolds.
to hold this hold?
Yeah, I think that is a big discussion we probably
Yeah.
need to have. It's like what happens here. Also, like it is a dwarven fortress essentially,
True.
right?
Yeah.
Maybe there's some dwarves in the area. Maybe we have.
I know one dwarf. He's in the area.
There certainly isn't like a large cultural representation in the area, and I think we did talk about that. This is thousands of years old. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's definitely not like recently.
But it's something that could be.
Yeah.
I mean, returned to.
What do the
Yeah.
mechanics look like for creating a second settlement?
Oh, that's definitely something you're going to have to get into. We'll get into some kingdom turns. The big thing for this one is that it's not anywhere close to in your boundaries. Now you have scouted it, like you
Yeah.
have to, and you will have
Yeah.
to add it bit by
It's
bit.
like 4 or 5 hexes away, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
This
so-
is far.
However, it is like a good west. Like if you wanted to have like some sort of presence on a western border, western southern edge, because you're not too far off. I went and grabbed the kingdom tracker, so we can talk a little bit about location, right? So
Whenever we look at our map, up is north, correct?
on this one, yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
one's correct. Jason's is a little like at a different
Mine's
orientation.
sideways.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So Shatter Shield is here,
Yeah.
and you've been mostly expanding to the northeast above the lake,
Sort of
Up the Tuskwater.
up
like, yeah.
the
Yeah.
river to the north.
Yeah. However, where you are is way down in.
I see.
Well into the forest. You're getting kind of close to the marshes over here.
Yeah.
Okay, we're further south than I remembered.
Yeah.
Okay,
So like,
cool.
yeah, I want to say you're kind of right in this area. I had to double check because I think you're a little bit to the west of Candlemere. So there's 2 bodies of water. There's Tuskwater there, and then the Candlemere is the lake sort of beneath the Tuskwater to the south of that.
Yeah.
Candlemere Island, where you all had a
Yeah,
bit
yeah.
of an interesting encounter.
Right.
To there, and then the lizard folk are on the western edge of Candlemere. And you've
Okay.
got that.
And we skirted them as we were
Yeah,
coming
you
out
just
here.
you just swerved that shit because
Yeah.
you were not here for it. Yeah, you're in one of these 2 hexes. I can check for you. So there are a lot of rules for it. Additionally, I mean, I guess fuck it. It's Pathfinder. We've got the drop.
Was it going to take like 2 days to get back?
More if you're gonna try to repair that wagon and get it through this terrain with you.
I think
mean-
it's a pretty good idea.
I mean, yeah, or we just hustle back and get someone here as quick as we can just to get the
Sure.
stuff.
And then so I guess I like that idea of just like, let's hustle home and hire somebody
Yeah.
to come and do this, to cart this stuff back and
Yeah,
forth.
or
But
like-
also,
I mean,
we're going to
the
have to think
Hobgoblins
about
could do it.
And
honestly.
or
For sure.
Ekendio and Knock Knock or
Yeah.
Ekendio, Knock
combination.
Knock, and then
we have the people.
but to
do
also but then to also
Ari.
send security with them as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking the
yeah.
Harpies could still theoretically be about.
I mean, that could be part of the goal of like, we'll go get the stuff. We also need to clear this place out.
We
Yeah.
need to, and the Harpies are the last ones that are left. James, I think you nailed it. That hex, the one right.
It is
yeah.
this one right here. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it is 2 west and 1 south from Candlemere.
it's like 2.5, 3 days.
Okay.
Yeah, give or take. Especially if you're transporting shit
Yeah.
or have a larger group and you're not all on horseback.
So
Right.
2.5 or 3 days if we start, because he said it was several cartloads of stuff.
You're about 5 days travel for people who aren't on horses.
Okay.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, so you made it in 2 to 3 days on horseback because
Oh,
you
that's
basically
right.
doubled your
So
speed.
we're gonna have to kind of, and so by the time we get back, we'd have been gone another almost 10 days.
It will have been
Like 2 weeks.
no, it will have been about because you hauled out here. Speed was of the essence on the way out,
Mhm.
and then you spent a day here. It will be about 9 days total. About a week and a half you've been gone.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's try and get. You want to just head back and then send someone up for the stuff?
I think that's a good
What do you
idea.
think, Baron?
Now remember, because it's Pathfinder, and since you asked about it, Trent,
Yes.
what you got going on here is
What day is it?
no, fuck you. There's never any days. And where's my Gnarl Marshes pages? Yeah. So Hargulka's stronghold. If it's cleared of danger and then claimed, the stronghold functions as a refuge. So if you build a settlement here, like if there's ever a monster attack or something
I
big,
see.
It's
sort of like Harboring
Helm's Deep.
style,
Helm's Deep.
exactly Helm's
That's
Deep
Yeah,
cool.
sort of
That's
thing.
cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah, as a matter of
Stag's
fact,
deep.
there's only one more hex to the west of you before this forest ends, and then you're into
Oh, wow.
Hooktongue Slough, which is like the big swamp area.
Will you put an X on the hex that
An X on the hex that it is.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, got the Drake there.
So we're definitely not going to encounter anything on the way back.
No.
So that's
impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's already done
Improbable.
the rolls and it found nothing.
The big question is then, do you want to try to meet up with the lizard folk on the way back and bridge that, or do that at a different time? You had all mentioned it, so I just wanted to remind you of it. You do not need to. Like, I mean, look, this won't give anything away. Keep in mind when I talk about how much is going on. Every code on these hexes is a potential thing. You will
Yeah.
never see everything in this
Yeah.
game.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I-
I think
I think I'm fine with that.
you want to
skipping
hit
it or going?
No, going over there on the way back and just being like, hey, we're just traveling through. We're so and so. We're going back home.
we could do like
We moved in next door. Just wanted to say hi.
Yeah, we could
could-
bring him like a casserole or something.
we
Hot
could,
dish.
we could
Mhm.
send some of the people like some people could stay with the caravan and keep going, and
That's
some
true.
could veer off. Like we're gonna go talk
I can
to
be
the
the
serpent folk.
diplomat to
Yeah,
go into it.
I'd
I
be
think
happy
that
to
you
go.
and
Totally
Will
makes
should be
sense.
the diplomat.
Okay.
you.
Actually, I should probably go.
Yeah, you should go.
I feel
And then
like-
as you guys come back to town too, they can send their own diplomat to kind of like see
Mhm.
shatter
Yeah, send them back
shield
with
and
us,
then
yeah.
go back.
and we'll provide protection for their
Mhm.
envoy.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Right.
what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah, exactly. Because they're going to be perfectly happy to see us, and everything's
always
going to
are.
go fine.
Mhm. Every fantasy D20 related video game I've played, the lizard folk have always been stoked to
Always
see us.
been
Yeah, I mean,
so
that-
friendly.
that is the question: is like, do we want to launch into a potential situation where we have to
Right. Yeah.
Well,
like
Especially if we
engage in
split
something
the
that we're
party.
not?
Well,
Yeah.
Then let's all go back, and we'll go back as a party again.
Okay.
with
I think that's a good idea.
I'm okay with
Appropriate
that.
gifts.
Yep.
Yeah. And
Let's
I
find
think
some snake-related, serpent-related
We
gifts.
could
Well,
give them
racist.
Grigori.
that's
Yeah.
fair.
Here, eat this.
Yeah. If Grigori is still
This
in
is our
town, I
envoy.
feel like it's time that
He
we
stays
gotta.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if we get there.
It's time for him to go. If he
Especially
gets there
if
and
he's
sitting
still
in my
talking
chair, I'm gonna
trash.
kill him.
If he's still
I'm good with
talking
that.
trash. Gotta do.
Okay, so we're going home.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
home.
Are we fixing up this wagon and taking stuff back, or are we just gonna go back quick?
Well, I mean, you're going to be held back by whether or not you so like if you want to keep the hobgoblins with you, they don't have horses,
Right.
so they're going to slow you down. Period.
So what if we repair the wagon so that they can ride in with horse drawing the wagon?
Wagons through this terrain loaded down without roads are going to be as slow as walking.
Totally fair.
Mm-hmm.
Can we?
Because you'll be walking anyway, you could hypothetically use your horses to sort of draft for the wagon, and then at least bring a wagon load home with you.
Sure.
However, then your horses are on there, and you don't have that mobility to respond quickly. So it's hit and miss.
Or we just tell them to meet us there. We're going ahead.
No, I kind of like the idea of staying with them just as like
Me too.
a
I'm
sign
fine
of
with
goodwill.
that. I'm fine with that.
You know.
Just
I
throwing
really need
options
that.
out.
Spell where I can like teleport through trees.
Oh, we're
Okay.
taking the map too that was in Horgolka's.
Yeah, that's why I asked if it came off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
for
it was
sure.
just tacked up
Oh,
there.
Okay, then let's fix
And-
up the wagon.
Okay.
Let's just take some
Mhm.
stuff back with
yeah,
us.
why not?
If we're going to be slowed anyways by traveling together, we may as well
Sure.
start the process.
Yep.
And it's something to show coming back to the town.
We
Yeah.
don't just leave for no reason.
Right, we didn't leave for no reason. We brought things back that
Yep.
will benefit the town, and also we took care of a threat.
Major threat.
Yeah.
Major threat at
Yeah.
Okay,
your
so we're taking
service.
time
Major
to-
threat.
Yeah, he's my second major threat.
Backup character spawned.
Okay.
All right, so I'll fix up the wagon with whomever
I can
has the
aid.
ability to
Yeah,
help.
I'm not crafty at all.
Neither am I, but I can aid.
Yeah, I'm not crafty at all.
Fair enough.
Can I pray so that you can have guidance?
Maybe
I can cast guidance on you.
maybe the kobold caster's handy.
Oh,
Yeah,
what
the
class is
kobold's
he,
good
by
at-
the way? Oh, he's a wizard
Making
The
or a sorcerer.
God, you had to ask.
I mean, we can unask.
he's technically a wagon fixer.
Oh,
That's
damn.
his class.
Yeah. That's his archetype.
Sorcerer, arcane spontaneous.
Oh, dope.
Can I use survival to help him aid on repairing the wagon?
Survival to help someone aid.
No,
Can I use
can
intimidation?
Can I
Can I
aid
aid
with
the aid?
survival?
Okay. Yes.
Does that make sense?
To forage and find some pieces.
22.
Great. This would have been great when I was making attack rolls.
Yeah.
32 total with the +2 to fix up the wagon.
I am just trained, by the way.
Oh, okay, with +1.
Yeah.
So
What's the total?
31.
Yeah, I think it'll take you the better like part of today to get that fixed. 'Cause you eventually have to make some repair some old wagon wheels that are in storages and things.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
wheels are important.
Yeah.
But you can make it work.
I mean, I assume that there's at least some of them or parts of them somewhere
Mm-hmm.
since they had the wagon.
Totally. It's not an
Okay.
issue.
Then
This
we load
wagon's
it-
going
we
to
load it up.
explode, isn't it?
So it just took us an extra day, basically.
We had to
Yeah.
load stuff up too.
Yeah, which will also give people time to get their stuff together. And if you want to do your thing that you talked about, Ryan, of growing one of your trees with Hargolka's head in it out front of the
Yeah, I think that's a good
fortress.
idea.
I'm
For
gonna
the
go
That's
back
cool.
down to where the dwarven religiousness is.
Yeah.
Is there anything that I can bring with me, not to pilfer it, but to keep it safe?
No, it's sort of the opposite. If you think the best thing for it would be to clean out this place and then maybe even if you can find a priest of Torag to come and fully re-sanctify the building so that the spirits are
Perfect.
at home with the fact that it isn't being used by such cultural enemies of the dwarves.
Yeah,
And,
unfortunately,
I'm
only-
gonna keep doing my daily preps in there while we're here.
okay.
Okay.
In the dwarven space?
Yeah.
Yeah.
unfortunately, the only dwarf cleric we know is Grotus cleric, right?
Yeah, that's not going to help.
Yeah, that won't help.
That would be bad.
Yeah, yes.
Not good.
But
Specifically.
good to do my daily preps in a sanctified area.
Oh, for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. All right, that's the plan then.
Cool. So night's rest then is what I'm getting.
Yeah, yeah. Got a
Cool.
night to do what we're gonna do.
I'll do a
here,
little
and
bit
then
of
we'll
prayer
head out.
and helping you get the tree
Yeah.
to grow out of Harkolka's head.
I want to
Yeah, let's make a check for that.
we can for the listening audience what Jonas is doing. We were talking about this at lunch. I'm going to grow one of these red maple protector trees more or less like all the spots, kind of like as beacons that we've been here and
Mhm.
Jonas was here. And I think we could bring Argolka's head out to show the harpies that we know they're in the tower. We can just wave and then just kind of build this thing into the tree for fun.
Okay.
I'm good
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah. What check would you like? Nature?
Yeah, because I think my mind is just like a magic check, essentially.
You want me to assist him with nature or religion?
I'll let you with magic through religion.
In. I'll wait till you roll.
Yeah, you know, I always like to get the assist first.
Natural 19.
Okay, that's probably pretty good.
So I can be a crit then. So,
30.
30.
and what's your training? You're trained expert?
Trained in religion.
Yeah, so +2.
Okay, here goes. I think this dice is weighted to 5. For being honest. So that will be a 5 plus 10 and be a 17 total.
Yeah. All good. Yeah, I think it takes you some time. It's a little inelegant, but you grow up this red oak, was it?
Maple.
Red maple. And like Hargulka's head, like the jaw just kind of tinging out of part of it. Maybe a like branch grows out through the mouth.
Can
And
you
it's-
make
it's
us
there.
like a maple syrup
Mhm.
farm?
Mm.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Right out of his mouth.
Just like a spigot.
Yeah.
Argle his mouth. Very cool.
I think that's it then. It's crazy though. It's crazy to me that we're like prepping and searching and fixing wagons and there's harpies flying around upstairs.
Oh, I think they probably fuck off pretty quick
Okay.
when they like word gets out that Hargulka's
Oh,
dead. They're like,
realized it.
yeah, we good.
Yeah, we're out.
It's
All right.
disgusting up there.
We were the
Cool.
ones that brought the word, that got the word out.
Yeah.
Because there was nobody left, right?
Hargulka's dead.
I mean,
Hargulka's dead.
We killed the Drake and Hargulka.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They're probably
Yeah.
like, I think we're good.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, there goes the paycheck. Well, we're not getting paid. We're not getting paid at all for this.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely not enough for this.
Oh, I love like they come down to like make coffee. They're like, hey, what's going on? We're like, what's up? They're like, who are you? Hey, I'm new here. We just moved in.
Fixing this
Ugh.
wagon.
Yeah.
What about Hargulka? Dead. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You know, I was
Ooh.
thinking about leaving anyway.
His head's in a tree over there.
Yeah. We
Funny
put
you should
it in
ask.
the tree. We created a tree and
In his mouth.
put his
Yep.
head in it.
We like it.
Yeah, so
Okay.
you got that. Spend the day, you get it together. Then you start heading out. Anything else you want to do? Did you want to try to go back by where the enormous flame drake was?
Yeah, because we got to put a tree there.
Yeah, we got to put a tree there and then just kind of hit all
And
the spots on
brag-
the way
Brag
back.
to the hobgoblins about our work.
And bring something back
Obviously.
to show the people.
The head. Can we get
Sure.
the
See
head?
this cave? There was a flame drake in here. Now there's not.
Can we get the head in the
Tree.
wagon?
You can try to. So let's start off. Let's go day by day
Yes.
for no reason at
no
all.
reason.
So you spend your day. You're in the gnarl marches. You get the next morning. You head out, break of dawn. Take some work with the crews, especially get the wagon over some of the more difficult parts. Because keep in mind, like we don't have roads where we're going. You need roads. You just don't have them.
That's good.
Thank you. I was mildly proud of that.
6th level.
Yeah, 25th level.
Perfect.
Nikolai's made of leaves. Flies.
You're heading out. The first day goes fine. You set up camp. Hobgoblins have a lot of trail rations with them already, which is good because now your party is quite a bit larger than normal. You're probably not trying to take a lot of time to stop and hunt. You make camp, you set it up. Hobgoblins don't really have much in the way of tents, but they're pretty hardy, so kind of shelters. Weather is starting to get colder. There's enough of you now to make the watches really reasonable, especially if you're willing to put the hobgoblins and kobolds in the watch. But
Yeah,
that's
for
up
sure.
to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Okay.
Maybe with at least one of us on it as well.
Oh, we could do that. We could like have a kobold
Pair
with
up.
like you take the kobolds because you're the kobold.
Wow, that's fucked up.
Just because his brother was a kobold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pair up for watches.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, even paired up, there's quite a few of you now. First night,
Did we have any leftover dragon bits?
no, that just kept for one bit.
And it just looks like rations for the first night then.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You just for no reason at all.
Yeah, go ahead and roll
Yep.
15 die. It's fine.
No, you're good.
Did we live?
Yeah, you're fine.
Hey, what
Sounds
languages do these hobgoblins speak?
Common and goblin.
Okay.
Common.
I speak those.
Mhm.
Yep. They're with you. They're Avistani commons, quite good. So next day you wake up. This is the day you'd be going by the
Drake.
Drake area. Skies seem clear. Not a lot of wildlife. You make it there. It's been picked at a bit, and you already took some pieces, but skull's still there. A lot of the body's intact.
Fuck yeah.
Cool.
Taking that skull.
Kobolds are like talking it up quite a bit, the way the fight looked and worked and everything. Hobgoblins are like, all right, so yeah, you load the skull into the wagon, plant another tree with like the rib cage wrapped around the branches.
Dope.
Make it back. Now, this next place you're going through, unless you want to take a lot longer, you are going to have to be a little careful because the next hex is the one that has the river, the lizard folk on the river. But like hexes are big. You've got room to skirt them. You just don't want to get in the middle of that.
Mm-hmm.
You make it through that. That's sort of the encounter in that space.
Okay.
Keep going. I'm trying to keep an eye on where you are on the map. It's funny, back to the hex encounters, because it's right next to earlier chapters in the book. And I'm like, this is really low level. Spend another day there. Goes pretty well. You're able to cut then into the Candlemere place around there. Next day, it's day 1, 2, 3, 4 on Candlemere. 5 up past Elga's. Say hi to Elga. She's like, who are all these people? You know, nice little moment.
Jonas, you gonna
What's up, Elga? I mean, what's up, Elga? You mind
Do you
if
want to
I
hear what he said about Arthur's mom, Helga?
do you mind if I plant a tree
What?
here?
What did he say about me?
But you're actually willing to camp, and like honestly, I think you're probably on good enough terms with Elga at this point that you could, if you wanted, like kind of camp, not like in her yard, she has her garden, and like the hobgoblins and kobolds are a little leery, but there's room, you know the region.
So are we.
Mm-hmm.
We'll tell him
And
not
so
to
are
fuck
we.
with the
Oh, do we know?
jack-o'-lantern.
Do we know? I
Don't
don't
fuck with the
remember.
scarecrow.
Yeah, do we know what she did with the stuff we brought her?
Never asked.
Huh, okay.
I don't think I want to know.
I don't know if I do either.
We might have
I was
to
just
fight her.
curious.
Fine. But honestly, I think she maybe even does come out, like if you kind of set up a campfire, come out for a little bit, join you for a drink and some time, and it's fine.
That's fun.
Dang.
The day after that, though,
Is she
you're
spending a lot of time with Lucky or?
Mm-hmm.
she does talk to Lucky in like a sort of a private conversation that none of
Uh-oh.
you could hear.
hmm
Jonas
Kind of comes for the group.
But I have a 14 perception.
Yeah, they're very careful. But then Jonah, she just spent a lot of time talking with you, and she's very interested about the history. She asks a lot about your familiarity with folklore and the different
Folklore's-
legends and cultures of the area.
Mm-hmm. I
Uh,
recite all them shits.
I'm using my fancy new stick to
Mhm.
to have some fish.
Mm-hmm.
I'll talk about the wonderful things that Erastil does in the community.
sure.
Hmm.
She brings up some interesting questions about some local, like not quite religions, but beliefs, prophecies, witches, the mosquito witch.
To
and
which Nikolai is all about and was like super into.
The mosquito witch. I've heard of this before.
Mm-hmm.
good stuff. However,
She attacks.
next morning
Yeah.
you wake up.
That's good.
Oh, okay. I was actually worried.
Step one.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
And you start heading back towards Shattershield. This is the day that you'll get home.
Everyone's alive.
In your group.
Okay.
Because it's, as you're getting closer, because remember, like, it's sort of miles around, that there's worrying signs. You're not in the hex that have any of your farms, but there are groups out here. And you've seen like what should be newly plowed fields. And there's no one there. Like sort of far-ranging, like grove areas. Huge trees are ripped out of the ground. You come to what should be one of the first like outlying huts. And the door's ajar. And there's no one in there. A window's broken. Part of the wall has a huge gouge in it.
A huge gouge.
A huge gouge.
Yeah.
What's the check for the what knowledge huge gouge?
Gouge identification.
Mhm.
I mean, I guess maybe like a society.
I got
Pitch me
society.
something. It's your
I got
society bonus.
Yeah, 10.
It's. Oh, I fucking hit the initiative.
Is that a sign of things to come?
Yeah.
Something like some sort of thing hit it, and as you start looking around, you find like 2 dead sheep, a cow, a dead horse, like all out in this field. And even as you're looking up, now and getting closer, you start to see smoke rising from the horizon where Shatter Shield is.
Fuck.
Nikolai spurs his horse.
Yeah,
The horses are on the wagon.
Are they? I'll take it off.
So yeah, you
Nice.
unhook your horses.
I unhook my horse and I get on it.
Yeah.
Yep.
You climb off and you start riding in. As you're getting closer and closer, you see more signs. Dead animals, blood on the road, huge trees ripped completely out of the ground.
Mama Drake.
Even as you get closer, you can see that there's like still dust and a pall of smoke hanging over Shatter Shield. You ride hard.
Yo, yeah.
You get there an hour or so later, and in town, first you think you see no one. Finally, you see just one or two people. As you ride past a couple in the streets, they just look like eyes wide, like they've just walked out into a war zone, like parents keeping children inside houses.
Am I like in the town center at this point?
Yes, you've kind of gotten right up towards it.
I'll jump off and run over to them.
They-
Are you okay?
Baron Nikolai, where were you?
Fighting some trolls.
Oh God,
What happened here?
the beast of Shatter Shield. We'd heard reports in the last day or two of something, but it finally got here.
The beast of Shadow Shield.
And to keep the tension a little bit, we're going to switch this to... You're now going to get to collectively play as your kingdom over the last day or two.
Okay.
So we're going to go back a day or two, and we're going to kind of build this up. That's why I got our kingdom sheet out and ready. Ekendayu is hearing reports. He's seeing... he's heard from the farmers that they're hearing weird sounds at night. Him and Knock Knock Meekmek have been out. And he spent some time just tracking it down. He's asked some of the loggers, some of the ex-bandits, and he reaches out. He tells like Ari and Letitia, asks them to like keep shit down in town, keep an eye out. He's concerned. Spends a day or two hunting, and he's noticing that the animals are behaving differently and weird, as if like a new predator has sort of entered the space. And it's, I think finally what really throws him off at first is finding a pack of thylacines that are just like not eaten, but like backs broken, whole parts of them just like rended and ripped open. So he starts going westward a little bit towards the forest, finding like disruption, like something has moved through the forest, like trees with bark taken off, some knocked over. And so it's after this, he kind of comes back and tells the town, like, be careful, stay in at night. First, he thinks, like, was it the werewolf? But this is too big. Something's wrong.
Giant.
Maybe. That's sort of what he thinks. Letitia asks him probably something similar. Ari, who's, like, both excited but nervous, a similar question. They sort of, I imagine, like, gather people up together. Sort of say, like, hey, we need to keep some people around. So here's the first one. I want you all to make a check for me. We're going to kind of let this set up potentially as an assist. This will be a defense check on behalf of the kingdom.
Okay.
However, you're not great at defense.
Nope.
Mhm.
It's a stability related check, which you do have double bonuses in how you've set up the last month. So you're going to get a +3 on this check. Who wants to roll the check to sort of have the group come together?
Oh.
Prep. I'm going to call this an assist check that will affect what happens next.
I'll go.
Baron, yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
I think defense has to go.
The dark arts. Yes.
pretty good.
Okay.
17?
Is that with the +3?
No, that would
20.
be
So 20.
unnatural 20.
All right.
Dirty.
So I think at some point, like, there is a little bit of fear and people are unsure.
What are all of our NPCs doing? Or all of our PCs doing?
This is while all of you are down, like,
I'm talking about like
Oh,
Barnabas and
that's who's in this group.
okay.
So they're
yeah.
kind of
Okay.
together.
Letitia, Ari.
Ekendayu is called for an emergency council coffee.
Hell yeah.
Like
And I think they're in there. And I think in the room they kind of say, like, there's a moment at which Ekendayu is like, he doesn't want to be the leader of this. He's unsure what to do. And I think it's probably like Ari who thinks, all right, what would they do? Like, she's been with you. Like, these are all friends. So she's thinking, like, what would these people do? What would Nikolai do? What would Arthur say?
I haven't bought with Nikolai do bracelets. I was going to
obviously. And so she's sort of like, we need to be safe. We should hunt this. We should ask Erastil for help. But then I think there's a part of her that also is a little unsure. So she goes to Letitia. She's like, how do we prepare against this? She's like, you have those in town who are hardened. You know the ones. Get them around, get them armed, give them room. And so Ari like sort of goes out and talks with. She knows there was a group that came up with Letitia. A little bit of questionable morals in some cases. But she asks them to be available, sort of put on retainer. She asks Meekmek to stay around. And Amiri as well. She's there. And so they sort of start forming groups. They're not sure what it is. She's nervous about letting it happen, but Ekendayu says he wants to go keep looking for it. Anything he can find ahead of time, that's what he can hope for. So he's out. Day before yesterday. Just comes across one of the logging groups. At night, something hit their camp. They don't know what it was, but 3 died.
Were they? They weren't our guys, were they?
They weren't members of your community, but there's a lot of people
Plot
out here
armor.
who are working.
Yeah. The bandits had plot armor.
Future rulers of Shatter Shield.
However, now this morning, I like to imagine it's sort of the standard over the shoulder shot of someone working on something at the Stag's Rest. And there's a scream heard. And then a crunch. Have you ever heard a car crash, how weird it sounds to hear large things collide?
Yep.
It sounds something like that. And then more screaming, more than anyone else was ready for.
I don't like that you're getting the book out. Are you telling us this?
And I like to imagine that we're over the shoulder of let's call it, let's say it's Holman. Holman,
Okay.
who we know from our side quest. Holman, who's having Holman, she, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's having a drink with Amiri. The two of them, I feel like maybe have kind of hit it off a little
Okay.
bit. And they step out. And it's almost mentioned that part in a disaster film when there's just people running.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't quite see what. And they look
It's a fucking kaiju.
to the southwest. And there's just dust coming up. And what they see
Oh,
God.
God.
is
Damn
an
it.
owlbear the size of a building.
Not
What?
Mickey.
20, 30
Not Vicky.
I'm talking 20, 30 feet tall. Just boom, and it's just knocked down, rampaging. You can hear screams and see something in its mouth. All right, now's the big roll. We're going to roll this as a kingdom defense score. The leader of this is the warden, even if the warden isn't present, but in this case, it is. It's Ekendayu, who's here at town, so you're not getting a penalty on that. We're kind of cutting ahead for a moment. The whole town's in chaos. And the only people left to stand against it. And you see them there in the streets. Ekendayu, Ari, Letitia, Barnabas, Holman.
Oh
I
my
can
God.
never fucking remember Matt's
I
character's
just got
name.
chills.
Sebastian.
No, who else is there?
No, it's not
Alabaster?
Sebastian.
Alabaster.
No,
God
it's-
damn it.
Alastair.
Alistair, yes.
Alabaster.
I knew it was
Alabaster.
Alabaster. I just said Alabaster.
Gung.
Alabaster.
Yeah.
Gung and Gung.
Gung, Alistair. No, I haven't heard from them yet. They've just
Okay.
been rumors in the
They've been in
distance.
town supposedly at the labor camp. It's wood camp.
No,
It is a
they've-
labor
The
camp.
prisoner with jobs camp.
no,
Yeah.
they've been working with a lot of the road crews. That you've heard stories
Okay.
about them from the road crews.
Oscar's there by now.
Ari's out there. Amiri. I think the gnome, Lindsay, the
Lindsay.
halfling, but no, the gnome, Jubilost.
Yeah.
They're all out there in the street. Knock, knocks, just daggers out. It's very Avengers moment. They're in the street. There's a giant owlbear.
Please paint this or draw it if you are listening and have
Yep.
those
Yeah.
skills.
Now,
Just
the way
send it to
this is going to go and this plays out is going to depend on this roll. You've got a +4 now because of the assist that you set up with how the town prepared.
I have one patch.
I got to.
All right.
I'm spending a lot of time moving this dice
Come on,
around in my
General.
I'm
hands.
trying to decide if I want to restrict patch uses on this.
Oh, after the fact, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
this has already happened.
Or none at all.
I'm going to allow you to use it, but You have to decide if you want to spend it ahead of time. And because it's at a kingdom level, it's a 2-to-1. It'll cost you 2 patches, but I'll give you advantage.
I mean, I don't have any patches, so it's up to you guys.
How many are at the table?
We're not going to need
3.
it. Won't need it.
Just roll it.
Natural 20.
It's
Natural 2.
Here's
wow.
a patch. Here's 2 patches.
All right.
Oh, he said no. It
No, I
goes
said
against-
it's 2. Go
Yeah, but
for
you
it.
said it. You had to call it before.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to call it beforehand.
He said you had to call it beforehand.
Did you not
and
hear
roll
that?
for advantage.
I didn't
you,
hear
you,
much.
you did say that.
You did say
Okay,
that.
Jason
I just
did.
want to keep it honest.
All right.
That's fine.
Yeah.
We'll keep it honest.
So
Yeah.
that total,
That's Jane's fault, by the way, because that's the dice she gave me.
Listen, man. I went back home and rolled those dice that she touched for a while, and it was bad. It took a while to run those back
It was
up.
on top of a patch.
and I did the test. Another d20 of the exact same weight did not balance on it.
Okay.
Cracked.
I'm going to stand up for this.
Stand up, Abby.
Now that being said,
I'm gonna hold
this
my
is
breath.
technically before the die roll if you want to do it.
And if he gets it, I don't have to use them.
Nope,
No, you
they're
have to
spent
use them,
regardless.
whatever.
2
They're
patches,
spent.
but it's advantage on this roll.
He'll get to roll 2
All right, Jason's calling it in.
and use that guy. The Nikolai die.
Watch out for the miniatures. First roll,
Okay.
9.
Not great.
second roll. We turned the patches in.
Yep. Oh, that's
Okay.
good. Plus 4 is 18.
So success, but not critical success. So we're gonna go to the city. So they come in. The owlbear lurches down the streets.
No one was here that would recognize Beaky, is there? Ari.
Ari, it's not Beaky.
It's not
This
Beaky.
is something else.
I was like, Beaky has been juicing.
Yeah.
Like
Big
Yeah.
time.
Beaky's been feasting.
Beaky
on the gym.
No,
may have
let me
eaten
talk.
some drakes.
Let me talk about this thing a little bit. I want to give you some idea of the size of what they're now calling the Beast of Shatter
Yeah.
Shield.
You may have said that, but it's an owlbear that's buildings.
It's
Big.
size huge.
Yeah. So mechanically, that's 20,
15 to 20
15
feet
to 20 feet. Yeah.
easily. Yeah. For some
It's
context,
it's a mammoth size owlbear.
this is a whole size category larger than the 1,700-pound troll.
And that was difficult.
Yeah.
It does feel like somebody should have mentioned this to us before we left.
No, this all
Yeah.
happened while you were gone.
Yeah.
All
What a
right.
week.
Lurches down the street, swings in. Even as it goes down, bam, it slams. It's slamming into buildings, destroying huts. I think
How
Does it
long
kill
it took us
Gregor?
to build those?
Is Gregor in its mouth?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Please.
Or Gory? Is that what's in its mouth?
Oh. All right. In the fight, it follows them. It's like going towards a whole group of housing. You see like parents and children there who aren't getting out in time. Ari is just sprinting in, like picking them up, handing them off. Like Amiri is like just throwing people over her shoulder, running. Knock Knock is just dead sprinting at it, right beside like
makes
Holman
sense.
and Barnabas, just going in straight for it.
My God, I'm so excited.
And you just see like, I imagine there's like a camera shot of like, it cuts to an alley and you're just seeing like people running and like Amiri like standing in front of someone. And then you just see like Amiri kind of run like left screen and then bam, just comes sliding back, a huge gash down her shoulder, like her arm barely hanging on. Knock Knock just flies down the street. You see him just crumple as he hits like a stone wall of City Hall and just like slump down, like his tongue lolling out of his mouth. Meek Mech is running over, like trying to take care of him. Cuts back around to a different angle. You see Letitia is like darting around. You see her keep bringing like knives or like her punching daggers like into these pouches, breaking glass vials over the top of it and trying to like run in and get one that slash, throwing darts covered in poison, anything she can as she just keeps moving to slow it down. The whole time she's with her though, she does have Alistair like kind of running cover. And I think Coleman's kind of doing something, but Barnabas is like kind of running bodyguard for her while she's just trying to throw darts, like just feeding her like these vials
that
of
sweet jacket
poison.
flipping in the wind.
Oh yeah, his red cloak
His red
jacket
cloak.
as he's
Yeah.
jumping from building to
Yeah.
building. And like even around the rest of town, everyone's trying to do anything they can to like get out of the way of it. There's a small caravan where like you see like as this owlbear's heading down one alleyway, like right as it's going to jump in at like the fisherman who you've all seen before, who like has so people,
Arvin.
Arvin,
Snoop
like someone
Fisher.
cowering behind him. Right as the arm of the owlbear is coming down, you see this black tentacle just coming up out of the ground, wraps around its arm and like pulls it back. And this dwarf comes in with an axe and just sinks it right into the back haunch of the owlbear. Boom, but next cut, it's like already down further the street. People are running, trying to just keep anyone they can out of town ahead of time. And that's sort of what's all being relayed to you, bit by bit, by the person in town. And as the dust settles, it's actually destroyed a complete block of housing.
That sucks.
That's going to be so expensive to repair.
Lucky
so
you got
difficult.
insurance, right?
Come on now.
All
I
of
wanna
your
make
buildings are gone. All of your tenants,
The slumlord
Sorry, I'll get 'em
jokes
back.
are just like coming in.
they have nowhere else to go.
And
At elevated price.
as they walk you, this person's, and like you I'm going to say that like for one reason or another, it's made clear that you probably need to go to the town hall, which has some damage again, but it's pretty hardy. And they've let you know it's where they've had to make like a sort of temporary morgue for the dead.
All right. Nikolai runs in and starts triaging motherfuckers.
You get in there as you run through the doors, you push them open, and you see almost
Push them open like Aragorn.
Yep. It's the only way people hear open doors.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
sit in chairs like Riker and
Yeah.
open doors like
Right,
Aragorn.
exactly.
You open it and you see like in sort of like the little courtyard outside of the town hall, what was once the bandits' place. And it's once again a site of death. You see almost more than a dozen figures covered with like sheets stained through in blood and dirt.
There's probably like some flashbacks or like something to when we were standing in this courtyard fighting all the undead. And now
Yeah.
like our citizens are the ones that are laying here.
I think if he's like shell shocked in this moment, like just absorbing, you hear Arthur like barking orders to people about like set up scouts here, just in case this thing returns. Everybody get moving.
Nikolai's in tears as he's
Yeah.
fixing people.
And like I think people are like, Baron, please come this way. We need your help. There are still some that we might be able to save. And it's clear how many they weren't.
All right, I just tell him like, here's some advice, some first aid advice, and then I go to find the other people that they're talking about.
Yeah, and so like they bring you into like some of the rooms, the same place that not 2 weeks ago you had your big meeting. All of a sudden is there's bodies in there, people who were wounded, bleeding, screaming, crying, families around trying to just find out what happened.
I guess I start healing them, putting them back together as best I can.
Come back to you in a second, Arthur. You've already kind of talked about what you're doing. Jonas, what's this like for you? Like this is just starting to become home. It wasn't quite home for you yet.
Yeah, I mean, Jonas isn't excited.
No,
I guess I want to like, what happened? Like, did it leave? Is it still there? Like, where did it go? Did they take it down? Did anybody of note like die? Not that you know.
That's what's going through your
right,
head.
Yeah, like who did we lose? And what can we do like immediately to start putting this back together so that we can be more prepared for this in the future?
Sure. I think, you start looking into that. We'll kind of come back to that. And then Lucky, any like immediate actions for you?
Yeah, I think Lucky is. I think he's kind of in investigator mode. And I think he is like searching knowledge for like what is this? How could it have come to be? Is this something that could have been set upon us
Sure.
by magical means or otherwise? And maybe just kind of investigating around the town, see if there are signs of anyone that seems out of place or anything that seems out of place,
Ooh, okay.
that sort of thing.
Yeah.
He's not really focused in on any of the people, just more about what occurred and
Yeah.
how it occurred.
All right. So
never leaving again.
I know, right?
we'll kind of cut, I think, back to you, Nikolai. Actually, no, I want to cut back to you, Jonas, as you're kind of looking through, like assessing it. Like I said, I think you're probably in a unique place. Like by pure years alone, you're the oldest one here. You've probably had to live through tragedy before as a half elf.
First time.
Really? You think
No,
so?
I'm just joking.
Okay. And
It's pretty good.
I think you're
Yeah.
also my read is that maybe you're also like you love this place, but it's not yours yet. So maybe
Right.
it hurts, but you're not in it in the shock
Well, I mean,
the
I
same way
think
these
I
are.
actually say probably the opposite. Like
Oh,
this
okay.
is the first time like I've seen tragedy happen, and this I've always been like adjacent to it at best.
Sure.
And so I say this is the first time that like, oh, my hands have been in the dirt here, and so to see that kind of torn up and stuff like that is probably
People you know dead.
people I know, people that I've been even though it's been just several months, like it's still this is probably, this is more meaningful.
And I think like one of the first faces you recognize is you see the halfling Kristoff,
Mm-hmm.
and he's kneeling down like crying, and you see like the sheets pulled back from maybe you would recognize Floric, who was one of the people who became a lumberjack and then like a part of your town's defense, and like whole half of his face is missing. There's just wood splinters. He's clearly dead, and
Mhm.
Kristoff is just like sitting there holding his hand, crying like as you walk through the room.
This is like really traumatic.
Yeah.
We didn't even see it coming.
Not even a little bit.
Mm-mm.
We just assumed.
Yeah,
there
we're
are
just
more-
gonna be going
there
back.
are more
Thinking
badasses
about
back
Grigori the whole time, like
Thinking
just
about
coming
Grigori.
back, like oh,
Is
we're
his
just gonna
dead
just
body
slap
in the
him
dead
around.
bodies?
Is Grigori's dead body in the pile of dead bodies, James?
You don't see it
Mm.
as much as you're hoping to
Is it
look
at the
for
bottom
him.
of the pile? Was he the first one to
But
go?
I don't see like Ari on top of the pile or anything, right? Either?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
But as you are quickly brought in, as someone's like, "We need your help right now. It's not good. I think we're losing them," and I think you're quickly brought into one of the back rooms, and like Ari finds you. She's like, "Oh my, thank God you're here. There's I don't know there's any time left," and she brings you into one of like the private chambers of City Hall, and you see a couple of folks that you recognize from the bar, but not like know very well, and they're crowded around with Ari, and you see Letitia is on the bed in this room, just like pallid white. Her arm is gone from above the elbow on the left arm, and there's a whole chunk of her like left side that's just like crumpled in. You can see where she probably has like a collapsed lung. And she just like opens her eyes and she sees you. Just, where is...
Before she even finishes, I say, "Someone go get the general."
And they send a runner right away. Ari just looks at you like, "Nikolai, is there anything you can do?
I want
Please."
to look. Is there?
It's complicated. Like, you know that magic can heal a lot, but it doesn't like...
It's not going to put bodies and limbs.
Yeah, exactly. And like enough
But there's a
major
mechanic.
damage.
That will help you get a new arm if you want one.
Arthur, you come in right as like Nikolai's walking over. What do you think you would do or say?
I mean, he goes over to her immediately. And in my mind,
Mm-hmm.
she waves for him
Yeah.
to bring his head closer.
Mm-hmm.
She whispers something in his ear.
And like it's hard. Like you can see like every breath she inhales is painful.
And he pulls back, and he's sort of in shock. And he goes and stands in the doorway.
There's a look from like those of you like listeners and players will know that like Holman and Barnabas are like former military essentially. They know that this isn't good.
Yeah.
And it's a hard place to be. But it's like this. She's the reason they were here. All right. So I think that means, Nikolai, I'm going to give you a chance. And this is a big one. So I'm going to say no patches. For a medicine check. It's probably a foregone conclusion.
Can I do the stag's helm and roll twice?
For medicine?
I was just trying.
Oh, okay.
No.
It's like, I don't think so. But I'm going to ask you to hold that die. And we're going to roll this in the next week's episode.
What?
Oh,
What?
That's uncool. This sucks.
Yeah.
Your mom's gonna die.
you want to say what she tells Arthur?
No, I mean, it's up to you.
So as Arthur leans down,
Oh god.
camera focuses in, and you hear her say, I think he's still alive. There's so much about your father you don't know.
And that's the moment at which, like, I imagine something goes just wrong enough where, like, Nikolai has to dive in. Arthur kind of steps back and stands in the corner. And I'm going to ask you to tune in next week to find out what happens.
This sucks.
The Live to Die podcast is a production of Live to Die Gaming. Follow us on social media at Live to Die Pod. Want to support us? Check us out at patreon.com/live to die pod. Thanks for listening. Tune in next week for more.